They say a country should never be so reliant on anyone in a way that could harm you if they pull back. The problem gets exacerbated when the dependency is on a country which does not conform to civilizational ethos. Namaskar and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush, and if you're watching us on Facebook, give our page a like. And if you're watching us on YouTube, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Coming back to the story, in this video, I'm here to tell you why Qatar will no longer be much relevant for India in a decade or two. Let's begin. According to a report by Economic Times, India's GAIL and Russia's Gazprom are in talks for supplying India with cheaper gas from Russia. Due to swift sanctions, Gazprom has offered GAIL to purchase it in future trade from Gazprom Singapore and settle payments in euro for the time being. The supply had come to a standstill in May this year due to sanctions. Russians are ready to pay demurrage charges for the use of containers beyond the earlier stipulated free time period. Indian Economic Trade Organization IETO is facilitating all these negotiations. Asif Iqbal, president of IETO, said India should benefit from lower energy prices if we buy LNG from Russia. Both Gazprom and GAIL are holding discussions on this to figure out broad contours like Singapore route payment settlements. This should also help control domestic price rises by curbing imported inflation. Currently, GAIL and Gazprom are cooperating through a deal under which Gazprom supplies 2.85 million tons of LNG to India annually. The delivery started in 2018 and will continue till 2038. According to an estimate by Indian government, the deal has helped India save anywhere between 8,500 to 9,500 crore rupees. However, in spite of the enormity of the deal, Russia is currently nowhere in the list of top LNG suppliers to India. Currently, Qatar, a country more infamous for its interventions in India's internal matters, rules India's gas import basket. In 2019, Qatar supplied 41% of our gas. This percentage has gone down but negligibly. Qatar still provides us with 40% of our gas requirements. But things change pretty quickly in international market and especially in the energy one. India has already planned for the change, and in one way, India's actions are the one which will cause these changes as well. Let's understand the Russian gas sector and India's involvement in it. According to a report by International Energy Agency, Russia is the second largest producer of natural gas. In 2021 alone, Putin administration produced 762 BCM of natural gas and exported 27.5% of it. 210 BCM of exports made Russia the largest exporter of natural gas. Moreover, Russia is preparing to increase its dominance in the sector. Estimates suggest by 2030, Russia will dominate 20% of the global gas market. But the question is, where does India fit in the scheme of things? Well, it is estimated that by 2030, Indians will be consuming 3 times the amount of gas they were consuming by the end of last year. Indian companies know it, and they also know that equations with countries like Qatar, the UAE and the US are more prone to geopolitical equations than those with Russia. This is one of the reasons why Indian companies have poured billions of dollars in Russian gas sector. Icing on the cake is that most of these companies are owned by Indian government itself. Imperial Energy, Russia, is fully owned by ONGC. In Sakhalin-1 oil and gas plant, LNG holds 20% of the share. ONGC invested in Sakhalin way back in 2001. ONGC also holds a 26% share of CSJC Vankorneft, a Russian oil company operating in eastern Siberia. When the deal was finalized, it cost $2.2 billion to the Indian government. By spending $2.02 billion, a consortium of Oil India Limited, Indian Oil Corporation Limited and Bharat Petro Resources Limited brought another 23.9% of Vankorneft. In essence, 49.9% of shares in Vankorneft were held by India alone. The consortium also holds shares of 29.9% stake in another oil and gas exploration company. The extent of India's inroads into the Russian gas sector can be gauged from the fact that when Shell plc, a transnational corporation, oil major wanted to shelve its responsibility of Sakhalin 2 LNG plant, Indian energy companies were the ones it decided to poach. In essence, India is well prepared for future gas requirements. In a few years, the European Union, a key destination of the Russian gas, will be reducing its dependence on Russia for energy requirements. India is ready to tap in, chopping Qatar's wings.